ZEPBOUND versus Mounjaro for weight loss. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have had the privilege of losing 68 pounds, probably more than that, I just haven't weighed recently, from Mounjaro weight loss. And using this TIRZEPATIDE, I've got some amazing stats for you, so make sure you go down to the description link below. I will link for you all of my resources, my blog posts. I have a ton of free articles, and this is actually part 3 in my ZEPBOUND series of the new medication that was FDA approved for chronic obesity management from the FDA, from Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Mounjaro TIRZEPATIDE. So let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to talk about that, but I also have a ton, pages of new information for you that you may not know, because I do like to break news here at Countess of Shopping. Anything related with GLP-1s, with Ozempic weight loss, WEGOVY weight loss, Mounjaro weight loss, semaglutide weight loss, TIRZEPATIDE weight loss, and whatever else comes down the pike. Now, we know ZEPBOUND is FDA approved for chronic obesity management. You can see part 1 about more of the nitty gritty on that, whereas Mounjaro for weight loss was used as off-label prescription, meaning that medical healthcare providers were prescribing and are prescribing Mounjaro for weight loss. And did you know, by the way, 30% of prescriptions are from off-label use? So the brand name of Mounjaro is now going to be over with Ozempic, not Ozempic. Why did I just say that? The brand name now is ZEPBOUND. So there's differences in there. People keep asking me, what's the differences? Boo, they're the same thing. They are just packaged differently with the FDA approval. And I know the medical people here, I am not a medical provider, a healthcare provider, nor do I pretend to play a doctor on the internet. I'm wearing a Britney Spears t-shirt, for goodness sake. So make sure you always, I'm going to punch you back to your healthcare provider. But do make sure you join my free Mounjaro weight loss encouragement group, and all are welcome at that table if you're doing a semaglutide compound or TIRZEPATIDE weight loss, or WEGOVY or Ozempic, all are welcome there, and whatever else comes down the pipeline. But join that for encouragement. Many of you are telling me you guys are doing this alone. I'm like, why are you not in our group with free people? It's free with thousands of encouraging people, and it's a positive only zone space. You may have challenges or issues on GLP-1s, but there's no nastiness. So I know that can happen on Facebook. That doesn't happen in my group. And there's thousands and thousands and thousands of us. Okay, let's go in, because I've got a ton of stuff to tell you that dropped today. First and foremost, did you know, in terms of, this is from Bloomberg, citing my source, that one of the most sought after corporate benefits is obesity related drugs, these injectable once a week injectables. It is the most sought after. But less than 50% of large employers cover these new generation of obesity drugs. 18% of corporations are considering this. And we know that there's open enrollment for people going on. So something to talk to your employer about if you have that feedback with a larger corporation. Again, this was for large, the study in Bloomberg was saying about corporate, large employers covering in them. So if you ever a small employer, that's not under this umbrella of what I'm sharing about. But something to talk about in terms of employee benefits, like healthcare providers and health insurance companies not providing the benefits, but also the trickle down from if your corporation or your company you're working for. Something to think about in terms of healthcare benefits, particularly if you are a business owner. Next, there was a large study that for WEGOVY, which is by the maker of I mispronounce it, I'll link it down below. Nordisk. It's the maker of Ozempic and WEGOVY. Like ZEPBOUND and Mounjaro, ZEPBOUND is for obesity, chronic obesity management. Mounjaro is for type 2 diabetics, not type 1 diabetes, but type 2 diabetes, FDA approval. Ozempic is for type 2 diabetics. Because it was so popular and being prescribed off-label for weight loss, because of the great weight loss results, the FDA approved for obesity management for WEGOVY. So WEGOVY study had done, that just came out. And people say, okay, then what's the difference between ZEPBOUND, Mounjaro, Ozempic, and WEGOVY? Slightly different data, but it's still amazing and monumental of what's happening in terms of weight loss with those. Now, WEGOVY, it has a 20% reduction. There was the American Heart Association just published this past week, and I'm filming this in November 2023. The New England Journal of Medicine just published this study. It was over 17,600 people. I remember from my statistics class to have a sample size needs to be at least 1,600. This is 17,600 people. They found with a BMI over 27 plus and over 45 years old with no diabetes. They're given that because WEGOVY is for obesity management. Ozempic is for type 2 diabetics. WEGOVY is for obesity management. So they did this study with 17,000 people, and they found a 20% reduction in heart attacks, where people who were taking it had 6.5% of those had heart attacks or strokes. 8% of those people who were taking a dummy medication didn't had the heart attacks or strokes. So that was a 20% reduction by taking WEGOVY, which makes sense, right? Like when we talked earlier in previous videos about new clinical trials coming out about how Mounjaro and WEGOVY and the GLP-1 receptor antagonists are helping with prevent cancer. That the cancer findings are less. It all pans itself out, right? Like if you're in better shape, you're less likely to have a heart attack or stroke. Like that's on brand. And same thing with cancer, it's also on brand with that too. So something to think about in terms of all encompassing, which is why it's shocking to me, going back to these employee benefits and healthcare companies covering ZEPBOUND and Mounjaro and WEGOVY and Ozempic and even compound TIRZEPATIDE and semaglutide. Why does it not? I think more information, more will be revealed. We are literally at the genesis and very beginning of these obesity medication treatments. I have had the privilege and honor to be on Mounjaro for the last 11 months. So incredibly grateful. And we've talked about the dark side of Mounjaro too. Make sure you check out that series. And if you're just starting Mounjaro, or even if you're just starting WEGOVY, Ozempic, it all kind of falls in the same thing. And when ZEPBOUND gets released here, my sources are saying mid-December, others are saying the beginning of January. So into the new year of 2024, at the end of this year or beginning of next year, you can get ZEPBOUND at the actual pharmacy. If you need someone to prescribe it to you, you get it as a prescription. I have a great telehealth company that I am working with. It's a startup organization. I am passionate about working with them because they truly do care about the GLP-1 community, but they prescribe both name brand Mounjaro and the name brand ones, and also compounds like semaglutide or tirzepatide. Mounjaro is tirzepatide and now ZEPBOUND, and semaglutide is WEGOVY and Ozempic. To give some context, their processing for compounds or the compound pharmacies that they're using are independently tested, super ethical. I like this company so much, and I've linked down my article in the description link below for more information if you want on that. And make sure you use my discount code. I've got a great discount code for you too. So going back over, talking about ZEPBOUND versus Mounjaro, of what is this meaning? And many of you have been asking me healthcare questions about these. And I think more is going to be revealed in 2024, that they're not ready for this yet. I mean, they are, but they're not. And it's going to also come down to your employer, if your employer is covering these obesity medications. Many of you, and thousands, have told me in my free Mounjaro and tirzepatide, semaglutide weight loss encouragement group that your employer may cover the type 2 diabetes because of the FDA approval for Ozempic or for Mounjaro, but will not cover the FDA approval for chronic obesity management for WEGOVY or for now ZEPBOUND. And so I find that very interesting, right? Because we know like now what it's doing to help with cancer, heart disease, like all these things are coming out in these clinical trials and studies on it. So I want to go over about the shortage because many of you have also asked about Mounjaro shortage, the WEGOVY and Ozempic shortage. If you're interested in hearing more on that, tell me in the comments below. I read your comments. I may not reply to all of them, but I do read all of them. But the shortage with Mounjaro, many of you have asked like, gosh, what does the ZEPBOUND FDA approval mean now for me getting my Mounjaro? Am I going to be able to get it? Which is a great valid question, right? Like Britney Spears. She's not a part of this at all. I found this t-shirt in my closet and I was like, that is amazing. But so what's happening with the shortage is Eli Lilly, the manufacturer, is working to double the capacity. They have two plants in North Carolina. They're spending $4 billion in terms of facilities to double the production for the tirzepatide medication. The production online, it's in Research Triangle in North Carolina. They're working to increase speed through driverless vehicles, robotic arms, and automation with that too. But the main thing is, and where is the plunger in which Mounjaro is causing that shortage with it. For ZEPBOUND, I'm assuming that that's been sorted by Eli Lilly, the manufacturer. It's an interesting plunger. That's what you use to inject. It's not a syringe. Like if you got the compound semaglutide or TIRZEPATIDE, I'm assuming those are syringes. I have not taken those, but they're syringes that you inject through like a needle. This has a needle. You can see in there, it's got a needle, yoo-hoo. It's got a needle in there, but the way that the plunger works, you have to unlock it, and then you count, and then it'll go boop, and then it'll go boop again. It'll make this like sound. Sounds like a dolphin clicking. When it's going, that production on there is because of the auto injectors for Mounjaro, and so helping to speed up. That is what my understanding for parts of these shortages are. I'm sure there's more to it, but that's part of it. So they're running the clock. Eli Lilly is running the clock at this plant in North Carolina, around the clock. Every day, every week. They're around the clock. But here's what's happening is the TIRZEPATIDE, the chemical reaction takes months actually for it to happen. So like what's coming out, it's taking months for that chemical reaction to happen within the TIRZEPATIDE, and also quality control. And I know you would agree, for ZEPBOUND, for Mounjaro, for weight loss, or for type 2 diabetics, we want to have that quality control. We saw with WEGOVY that there were some quality control issues. If we are injecting things, want to make sure it's like not spoiled mayonnaise. You know what I'm saying? Like botulism for like Botox and stuff. We don't want anything. We want that high quality control. And I appreciate that Eli Lilly is being super rigorous about that quality control too. Now, this is the other cool part in terms of ZEPBOUND dosage and Mounjaro dosage, and I have a whole article linked down below on Mounjaro dosage of how that dosing works. It's 2.5. It's just like Mounjaro dosing. It's, I mean, literally the pen, this plunger is even, the Mounjaro pen is even similar. It just has a different logo on there. Literally like the same. You look at the pictures and you see my blog post down below, the article down below. It's the same thing. Just with a different coloring on there and like branding and stuff. But it's 2.5 milligrams for Mounjaro, 2.5 milligrams first dose for ZEPBOUND. I'm saying Zemp, it's ZEPBOUND. Zep, Z-E-P-B-O-U-N-D. ZEPBOUND. People, and when I would call Mounjaro, that's wrong. It's Mounjaro. People, it would make them nuts, which I could understand. It would make me nuts as well if I wasn't the other person not saying it. But so it has the same dosage, 2.5 milligrams, 5 milligrams, 7.5 milligrams, 10 milligrams, 12.5 milligrams, 15 milligrams is the highest dose for Mounjaro, and a ZEPBOUND TIRZEPATIDE is 15 milligrams as well. Those are the highest doses on there. So they're using, and this is the cool part about the dosing component, AI, for you AI fans out there, and product machine learning about predicting the titrating doses. Like, this is how cool AI, when I was reading about this, I was like, ooh, AI, like, if you saw the recent Tom Cruise movie, the Mission Impossible with AI, I'm like, ooh! But it's interesting how they're using machine learning to figure out and predict the trends for titration dosing of what are we doing? How long are we on 2.5 milligrams for? Collectively, how long are we on 5 milligrams for? 7 point, like how long, and then figuring out trends with that. I am a data nerd, and people who know me, like I love to analyze data and stuff like that. So this was completely in my wheelhouse, and I was so excited that they're using that for good to help figure out the trends, but then also to prevent the shortages that we've seen with this, right? So, okay, so those are my big things on there. If you have further questions, side effects. People were asking about Mounjaro side effects versus ZEPBOUND side effects. I have a whole article linked down below on side effects. But mainly they're gastrointestinal. Either it comes out too much or it stays in too much. I have my gastrointestinal side effects down below. If you have constipation, I have just been testing the coolest different things, and I'm going to talk about that more in an upcoming video, so make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. But in terms of constipation or nausea or vomiting or diarrhea. So constipation, nausea, diarrhea. And so I have solutions for all of those, and are thousands of people in the encouragement group. So many people, I mean, that's a lot of people talking about what's working for you for constipation, what's working for you for nausea, what's working for you for diarrhea. I've actually come up with a new recipe. Would you guys like it? Let me know down below. It's for ginger water. I made it myself. Like, it's homemade. I didn't buy it. And it's got a couple of other, it's so good if you're having nausea issues or just tummy, gastrointestinal issues in general. And this is my new tumbler. You guys know I am obsessed with Stanley's, but I just bought this new tumbler. I actually kind of like it quite a bit. So I'll link that down on the description link below. I'm going to do my best Amazon find picks for this month also, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But going back to Mounjaro side effects and the ZEPBOUND side effects, gastrointestinal ones being number one. We also do have that black box warning for thyroid cancer. Now that is a hereditary, like family history for thyroid cancer. Always talk with your own medical professional and healthcare provider. I am not that, and don't pretend to play it like I know my role. My role is I'm here to encourage and hopefully put a smile on your face and motivate you and hopefully provide some positivity for the GLP-1 community. But I am not a medical person at all. And so with those side effects, if you're having pain, I want you to immediately contact the healthcare provider who prescribed you this medication and contact your doctor, nurse practitioner, or physician's assistant. Those are the three people who can prescribe these medications, and tell them you're having pain. Pain is not normal from my understanding. And recently within the free encouragement group, some people were talking about how they were having pain. I'm like, no, that scares me. When people say they're having pain, that's different than like, oh, I'm having like the squirts or diarrhea. By the way, Mr. Freddie is laying on, you guys know the OG Counts and Countesses. Mr. Freddie is laying on our picnic table in our backyard and refused to come up for filming. So my co-host is not here today. He'll be here back. He sends his regards. You guys know Mr. Freddie. And the 130-pound Great Pyrenees here in rural Virginia that we're fostering and helping find a permanent home. We foster our dogs a ton. And she's still not adopted yet. So I'm going to go walk her here in a minute. But I wanted to make sure you guys knew about the different side effects. Pancreatitis. If you're titrating up too quickly, things like pancreatitis can happen. So slow and steady wins the race. 15 milligrams is the highest that Mounjaro goes, and now is ZEPBOUND. You do not need to fly up there as quickly because that can cause some pancreatitis issues. And if you don't know what pancreatitis is, Google it. I think, knock on wood, I'm like, thank God I haven't had that. Pancreatitis and some other things along that realm that I just want you to be super in touch with your body of like, how am I feeling? What's going on? For me, Eli Lilly says that tiredness is not a side effect. For me, it has been. Could that be because my hormones are getting all jacked, whacked, and sideways? Yes. If you're having, and I did a whole video on Mounjaro period changes. So if you're in those baby making ages, be mindful of birth control. If you're in that wheelhouse still, that it does change. Like my periods have massively changed with that too. So in terms of other side effects, I'll link the rest of them down below as well. But again, I'm not a medical professional. Not just because that's a diminishing word, but I'm here for the encouragement side of it, and I want to make sure you're well versed as to like the big things going on. Let's go over and talk about, and you're going to want to make sure you stay to the end, by the way. Stay till the end. Don't go anywhere. We've got, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already, 17 Amazon finds that have helped me with my healthy habits, right? Because as we go on a Mounjaro weight loss journey, or on our if you're on WEGOVY weight loss journey or ZEPBOUND weight loss journey, as we go through, we've got to change our healthy habits. We've got to change lifestyle changes to go with it. And so these are my 17 finds, I think it's 17, of what's working well for me this month. And basically I pick things that I'm using every single day for my Mounjaro weight loss journey. I'm not using these every single day, but a Sharps container to put my pens in because I have an 8-year-old and he's smart. But if we have not the people who are in like where I'm doing my injections, like other kids and things like that. But I want it to be very clear if you have people coming in that help maybe clean your house or other people in your home, like having this for me, super, super important. So that is my Amazon find with it. Number 2, healthy habits from my Amazon finds that have helped on my Mounjaro weight loss journey and TIRZEPATIDE weight loss journey is tumblers. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, what tumbler do I pick today? In my tone deaf voice. I love Stanley's. I have a whole rotation system. This new one I'm putting on my list. So I'm linking that on my Mounjaro Amazon must-haves as well. Protein. Many of you guys know I've been working with a GLP-1 dietitian, not a nutrition, a dietitian, which means she has her master's degree. She's done over 1,200 hours of studying of nutrition. Like, she's so smart. And she has solutions that I haven't even thought about. Like, If you guys didn't see our capsule pantry episode, go watch the video prior to this. It was the video right before this one. And we are going to do a follow-up interview, by the way. I am the overwhelming response from that video. We are doing a follow-up video talking about how we're going to construct our plate. But for me, having 100 to 120 grams of protein, I've had to change the way I'm cooking. Cooking right now the most delicious coconut curry crock pot meal. If you want that slow cooker meal, tell me in the comments, because I'll do it in my next What I Eat in a Day on Mounjaro weight loss video if you're interested in it. If you're not interested, you could also be like, I'm not really interested in that crock pot recipe. That's helpful for me too, in a positive way. But slow cookers, that's number 3, is using my slow cooker. I'm using that thing like crazy because of eating so much protein. And we have many beautiful counts and countesses in the Countess of Shopping community who are vegan. I'm not vegan. But if you are vegan, let me know in the free encouragement group. We're going to do a thread for our vegan friends too in terms of protein, of making sure, because many of you guys have asked me, I'm like, I'm not vegan, but I want to create a community within our free group that we're talking about that too. But I've been using my crock pot like crazy. I don't like chicken at all, and that's a chicken curry dish. So I'm finding ways to kind of get around some of my hang-ups I've had using ground turkey and some other leaner proteins. But my crock pot, that's number 3 Amazon finds, because it's easy for me to dump and go as a mom, a wife, and a serial entrepreneur, and fostering all these dogs. That's been helpful. Number 4 Amazon find, for changing healthy habits. If you guys did not see my high protein overnight oats recipe, many of you are low carb, and I am low carb too, but I do have those protein oats because of the overwhelming protein in it, like 40, 50 grams of protein in it. But I'm using it with my Dash waffle maker to make waffles out of them. And I guess like the chaffle craze back from keto, but this is different. I add an egg into that overnight oat recipe. So just add 1 egg or 2 eggs, and it adds a substantial amount of protein. That's what I had for lunch today. So getting a Dash waffle maker, they were $10. They're, I'll link down below all of these. So if you want to do shopping, by the way, for any of these Amazon finds or during the holiday season, it's at no cost to you, but it helps our channel stay free, helps that free encouragement group stay free. Go visit the blog because it makes it stay free by supporting through those affiliate links too. Number 6, 5, 6, now I'm losing my track of mine, was LMNT electrolytes. I would not buy those on Amazon though. It's an Amazon find, but you can actually get it less expensive with my discount code. It's buy any sort of package on LMNT's website with my code down below. Get 8 free sticks of LMNT electrolytes, and I use those in my water, either 0 to 2 sticks per day. On shot day, I usually have 2 sticks of them, and they have no flavors. If you don't want, there's no sugar added, no junk, no dyes. It's not like blue Gatorade, and I highly recommend them. Now they are it's sodium, magnesium, and potassium. If you're worried about high blood pressure, potassium is again, talk to your own doctor, your healthcare professional, healthcare provider. But the potassium is negating that sodium in terms of high blood pressure. Just something for my high blood pressure folks, talk to your doctor about it. But that is the potassium helps to lower blood pressure stuff. So with that, and some people are like, it's too salty, then just add more water. Then just dilute it. So I usually have those in one of my Stanley tumblers or other tumblers. Next, things that I've been loving from Amazon find. I'm showing you my Gross Dirty shoes, but I'm obsessed with these shoes. They are my dog walking shoes. I've been walking at least 30 minutes a day with all these Fosters, if not more. And so I've been walking every day as a new healthy habit, getting a good pair of shoes. I like these because, like the slip-on ones, because I don't have to wear socks with them. I hate socks. Particularly in the wintertime, I'm like, I don't like socks at all. So I highly recommend those. Next, loose skin. You guys know my ride one. I'm obsessed for loose skin. Nothing's going to change loose skin except for loose skin surgery, but my thighs have gotten very jiggly. And so this helps with my confidence with it as well. Which, by the way, I got this email, and I know it's from one of our viewers. And so if she's watching, I love you. I'm grateful you sent me an email. I love when people send me notes. And I wrote her back, and I'm debating about if I should do a whole video on it. So tell me in the comments below. But it was basically like, Elizabeth, I know your whole quest is to be thin, of why you're taking Mounjaro is for thinness. And I'm like, if I ever gave that perception that this whole thing that I've been doing for the last 11 months and sharing about my journey and putting myself on there on the internet for my child and my husband and all of God's green earth to see was about thinness, that makes me really sad, because this is not about thinness. For me, this was about my health and getting my health back and changing my A1C levels and changing my blood panel, in addition to health-related concerns. A fat person trying to get thin, ruffling so many feathers, whereas when I was eating all these crazy foods and like binge eating at night, that never was an issue, but this is an issue. And so anyways, this email, I feel like that's a whole nother video. So I guess I'm just not going to go. If you're interested in hearing more, like I've got lots of thoughts on that. If you're interested, tell me in the comments below too. Let me go back to my Amazon finds. It made me really sad because I'm like, this is about saving my life. This is not about thinness. This is literally about being here for my grandbabies, and to not live a miserable, painful existence of what happens with chronic obesity when you left unchecked. You die of strokes. Like horrible things happen. Like it scares me. And that's why I'm taking is to help my health and my A1C and my body. Okay, rant over. Let me go back to, I pulled this up, and the reason why this started this whole thing is, if you guys saw in some of the previous videos, I think because I talk about how I do Botox and I had laser treatments and things like that, people that, oh, she's superficial. Well, my job is I'm on camera. I do live streaming for major corporations and I do video work for, and so that's part of my face has to look a certain way. And not that I need to justify any of that, but it's my form of employment. As if someone was a tech person, like keeping your fingertips limber. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, now I feel like super insecure about sharing this, so maybe I won't. But okay, I'm just going to share it. But this is where I think people think that this is about thinness when it's not at all. But it's about my health. But going back over to talking about face stuff, my face has changed with Mounjaro face. If you're doing Ozempic face, WEGOVY face, your face physically changes as you lose a lot. Losing 68 plus pounds, my face has changed. And so I want to make sure it doesn't look gaunt and hollow and like, like this is my job, is making sure my face stays a certain way. And so anyways, all that to say, this is my new favorite eye serum. I'm completely obsessed with it. It is a medical grade eye serum. So I have ones where if you're looking for like a $10 eye cream, I've got those too listed down below on my beauty finds. But this bad boy is awesome. Now I do get Botox underneath my eyes, or not, around my eye, but it is amazing. I'm like blown away. It's one of my Amazon finds. Next, magnesium, linking that down below. Take that every day. Neck firming cream. I have two. I absolutely love this brand's neck firming cream. I'm obsessed with it. In fact, if you're worried about like your neck becoming like saggy or your décolleté, your chest area on here, I love that. Don't get it wrong. But I have a less expensive version that still is amazing. It's the lemon verbena. I'm obsessed with the smell. Helps with neck, sagginess of neck. I love the texture on it. People said, what's your preference? I don't know. Some days I use this and some days I use the other one. I like giving options for both just because of price point. Because many of you guys can't afford certain things, and I want to make sure I'm offering a wide net for everybody, right? And so there's two different price points on those as well. This one is for loose skin for your body, but they do have a neck cream as well. Many of you, not many, maybe nobody, I'm not wearing my wedding ring because it doesn't fit. I'm still happily married to the Count, my hot husband, but it doesn't fit and I need to get my rings. I'm worried about my rings. I have 4 of them. 2 are for my babies. 1 is my engagement ring and 1's my wedding ring, flying off, which they almost did. And so I need to get them resized. So if you see me not wearing my ring, I'm happily married. I just don't have it because of, I don't want it shooting off my finger. One of the other things that I'm loving at nighttime is doing in terms of healthy habits is coming upstairs. The kitchen is closed. If you guys are in the free encouragement group, we have the No Night Snacking Club. And so make sure you comment on that thread too with this video as well. But I've been using this. It's different than like loose skin cream, but it's a cream. It's Dior. It's Miss Dior. I'm obsessed with it. And I feel like if you've made it this far in the video, now you're knowing a little something about me. I cannot find where this is sold other than on the Dior website. And I think Macy's might sell it, but I cannot find it anywhere else. Like not at Sephora or Ulta or anything. It smells so good. It's the Miss Dior, and I'm going to mispronounce this in French, but Crème de Rose en Twist. It smells like roses. It's my absolute favorite, and I cannot buy more of it. I'm like squeezing. So I just sit here and I smell it. At nighttime, it's like my reward after I put my son down and I do all of my momming activities. It smells so good to me. It makes me super happy. So that's another Amazon find to help keep me out of the kitchen. Next Amazon find for healthy habits is chia seeds. I use those chia seeds in my high protein overnight oat recipe, my high protein you could use them for pancakes, but waffle recipe has chia seeds. I'm obsessed with them. I absolutely love them. The pink tree behind me, I am also obsessed with. I've been testing for my job. Do you hear Mr. Freddie? He's gotten off of, there you go. He loves to defend our house. So if you ever come to my home, he'll rip your face off. Not really, but he does let me know when people come here. But the pink Christmas tree has made me so happy. I've been testing them and I'm obsessed with this brand. I'll link them down in the description link below too. I think they might be on sale on Amazon right now, but stay tuned. The Black Friday upcoming sales, you want to be on my email list. I'm going to be talking about those. The pre-Black Friday sales are off the chain. If you want me to do a video on those, let me know in the comments down below too. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, we do a little thing here at Countess of Shopping. It's like the Marvel Easter egg. So put down below so I know that you've made it this far in the video, a pineapple. Ooh. It helps me to get to know viewers better. You all know me, but it helps me to get to know your handle name over and over. Like there's certain people that when I see their name pop up, like Anna comments every single time, and usually right as the video gets released, and bless you, Anna. I think she may have notifications on with her setting, and I appreciate you, Anna. And Chai, and there's like thousands. And so I appreciate each one of you, but how I will memorize your name, because I do memorize, I'll remember, is by commenting the emoji. It sounds weird, but it works. So today's emoji is pineapple at the end of the show. Join the free group. If you want to get on my email list, I send out once, if not twice a week, on usually Mondays and Thursdays, encouragement emails. And it hopefully will help keep the momentum. This is a daily thing. If you're doing it for chronic obesity management, Mounjaro weight loss or ZEPBOUND weight loss or WEGOVY weight loss, semaglutide weight loss, TIRZEPATIDE weight loss, daily consistency is important. So hopefully those emails help too. And get all of my free articles. See the earlier series too on ZEPBOUND and Mounjaro, ZEPBOUND versus Mounjaro as well. Basically, the thing is one's approved for FDA approval for type 2 diabetics, Mounjaro, and one is approved for chronic obesity management in addition to changing your diet and changing healthy habits with working out and exercise, and that's ZEPBOUND. They're both by the manufacturer Eli Lilly. They both have a similar dosing. They both have pretty much the same side effects. They both, in terms of insurance, that's going to be some of the variations of that is what your insurance companies are going to choose to provide coverage for. More will be revealed on that in 2024, which is why you want to click that subscribe button so you can stay tuned. Okay, sweet friends, I think we've gone through. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. I'll see you next time, friends. Bye, guys. Have a